Hey, Stoic friends, have you ever faced a rejection so painful it left you questioning everything? Maybe it was a person you deeply cared for who walked away, or a dream job that slipped through your fingers. In those moments, it feels like the world is closing in, and all you can think is, why wasn't I good enough? It's okay to feel that way. Rejection stings, and it's only human to hurt. But here's a perspective you might not have considered. Rejection isn't the end of your story. In fact, it can be the beginning of a new and better chapter. Yes, it hurts, but it also teaches. It forces you to pause, reflect, and redirect. As hard as it seems right now, rejection can be the very thing that pushes you to grow, to see yourself in a new light, and to aim higher. Take a moment and think about this. Have you ever been rejected only to realize later that it was a blessing in disguise? Maybe that breakup cleared the way for a healthier relationship, or that missed job opportunity led you to discover your true passion. Life has a way of closing the wrong doors so that you're forced to find the right ones. Even the greatest minds faced rejection. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers, yet they turned their pain into purpose, and so can you. Today, I'm sharing 10 powerful lessons to help you transform rejection into a source of strength and growth. These insights, inspired by psychology and Stoic wisdom, will help you see rejection not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone. So before we dive in, I want you to affirm this truth. Rejection doesn't define me, it refines me. Drop that in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your power, because no matter how painful rejection feels right now, it's shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Let's get started. Number 1, rejection is redirection. Rejection often feels like a door slamming shut in your face, leaving you stranded and questioning your worth. But what if that closed door is actually steering you towards something better? Rejection isn't a dead end, it's a course correction. It's life nudging you to reevaluate your path and redirect your energy toward opportunities that align with your true potential. Think about Marcus Aurelius's timeless wisdom. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When rejection blocks one road, it forces you to forge another, one that might lead to greater fulfillment and success. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. She was rejected by a dozen publishers, each one delivering a painful no to her dream of bringing Harry Potter to life. Those rejections could have shattered her confidence, but instead they sharpened her resolve. Each setback pushed her closer to the right publisher, the one who believed in her vision. The result? A literary legacy that touched millions worldwide. Now, let's make it personal. Think back to a time when rejection changed your course. Maybe it was a relationship that ended, only for you to later meet someone who truly valued you. Or a job opportunity you lost that led to a career you're passionate about today. In those moments, it's easy to feel defeated. But with time, you often realize that what you thought was a setback was actually a setup for something greater. Human emotions during rejection are raw: disappointment, frustration, even anger. Acknowledge those feelings, but don't let them define you. Rejection isn't about losing, it's about learning. It's a powerful teacher, revealing what isn't meant for you and pushing you toward what is. Have you ever looked back and thanked rejection for redirecting you to something better? Share your story in the comments with Redirection to remind others that every no holds the potential for a bigger yes. Number 2. It's a mirror, not a verdict. Rejection feels personal. Whether it's being turned down for a job, ignored in a relationship, or sidelined in a social setting, it stings deeply. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't a verdict on your worth. It's a reflection of someone else's perspective, their preferences, or their circumstances. It's a mirror, not an absolute judgment of who you are. Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The way you interpret rejection shapes your growth. If you see it as a defining statement about your value, it can crush you. But if you view it as feedback, you empower yourself to learn and adapt. Consider a job interview where you didn't get the role. At first, it feels like a declaration that you're not good enough. But pause for a moment. Could it be that the company's needs didn't align with your strengths? Or that another candidate simply fit the specific mold they were looking for? Instead of letting the rejection bruise your confidence, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Take a moment to reflect on the power of self-awareness. Rejection can shine a light on areas where you can grow. Maybe it's a skill you need to improve, a better way to communicate, or even the realization that you deserve to be in spaces that truly value you. Each rejection becomes a stepping stone for improvement, not a roadblock. Human emotions during rejection can be overwhelming: embarrassment, self-doubt, even anger. That's natural. But remember, no single moment defines your journey. Your worth isn't tied to someone else's opinion. Rejection only shows how you're seen in a specific moment, through someone else's lens. What's one powerful lesson you've learned about yourself through rejection? Drop it in the comments with growth mindset. Let's inspire others to see rejection not as the end, but as a new beginning. Number 3. Rejection builds resilience. Rejection hurts. There's no sugarcoating it. But every no you face is like a mental push-up, strengthening your emotional muscles. Each setback teaches you how to endure, adapt, and rise stronger than before. Over time, you'll notice something incredible. Rejection stops scaring you. Instead, it becomes a badge of honor, a sign that you had the courage to try. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Just as a physical workout makes your body stronger, rejection toughens your spirit. The pain of being turned down forces you to dig deep, reassess your approach, and build the kind of resilience that no smooth path could ever provide. Think about Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was fired from a television news job because her producers thought she was unfit for TV. For many, this could have been the end of the road. But Oprah didn't see it that way. She took the experience as a lesson, sharpened her skills, and eventually became one of the most powerful figures in media. Her story proves that rejection doesn't have to be the final chapter. It can be the turning point. Resilience isn't about never feeling the sting of rejection. It's about deciding that the sting won't stop you. Every time you face rejection and keep going, you're building an emotional shield. That shield doesn't make you invincible, but it does make you stronger, braver, and more determined. Take a moment to think about a time when rejection helped you grow. Maybe you didn't get into your dream school, but it pushed you toward an opportunity that changed your life. Or perhaps a relationship ended, and while it was painful, it taught you how to set healthier boundaries. How has rejection made you stronger? Drop your story in the comments with "stronger than before," and let's celebrate the resilience we've built together. Number 4. It highlights misalignment. Rejection isn't always about your flaws. It's often about mismatched paths. It happens when what you're chasing doesn't align with your true purpose. While it stings in the moment, rejection can be life's way of redirecting you to something more suited to your values and goals. It's not a punishment, it's a pivot. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." This doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that life's obstacles might be steering you toward better opportunities. Rejection forces you to pause, reflect, and ask, is this really what I want? Or is there something greater waiting for me? Consider the story of Steve Jobs. In a shocking twist, he was ousted from Apple, the very company he co-founded. It was a public rejection that could have destroyed him. Instead, Jobs embraced the redirection. During his time away, he built Pixar into an animation powerhouse and developed Next, which later became the foundation for Apple's resurgence. When he eventually returned to Apple, he was a transformed leader with a renewed vision, and the company went on to achieve unprecedented success. Now, imagine how rejection has played out in your own life. Perhaps you didn't get that dream job, only to find another role that felt more fulfilling. Or maybe a relationship ended, leading you to someone who truly aligns with your values. These moments aren't coincidences, they're realignments. When rejection happens, it's natural to feel hurt or confused. But instead of dwelling on the loss, ask yourself, what wasn't right here? Often, rejection saves you from wasting time on paths that don't serve your growth or happiness. Have you ever looked back and realized rejection was actually a blessing in disguise? Share your story in the comments with alignment. Let's celebrate the clarity and purpose rejection can bring into our lives. Number 5. Rejection teaches patience. In an age where everything feels instant, texts, deliveries, streaming, it's easy to forget that the most meaningful achievements take time. Rejection often feels like a roadblock, but it's really life teaching us the art of patience. It slows us down, forces us to reflect, and builds the endurance needed for long-term success. Epictetus wisely said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Think about it. Rome wasn't built in a day, masterpieces aren't painted overnight, and personal growth doesn't happen instantly. Rejection is a reminder that the best things in life come with time, effort, and resilience. Take the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. At the age of 65, with nothing but his fried chicken recipe, he set out to pitch his idea. He was rejected over 1,000 times by restaurants before someone finally gave him a chance. Imagine being turned down that many times. Most of us would have given up long before, but Sanders' patience and persistence paid off, turning his small idea into a global empire. Rejection gives you two options: quit or keep going. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is patience. It's about trusting that every no is getting you closer to the right yes. But patience isn't just about waiting. It's about maintaining a positive attitude while working toward your goal. It's about believing in yourself even when the world tells you otherwise. And yes, it's frustrating. But every time you wait and push forward, you're growing stronger and more resilient. Think back to a time when you didn't give up despite setbacks. Maybe it was waiting for a job offer, pursuing a relationship, or mastering a skill. What did you learn from that patience? Share your story in the comments with "Stay patient." Let's inspire one another to embrace the process and keep going, even when the road feels long. Number 6. It develops emotional mastery. Rejection has a way of hitting you where it hurts: your pride, your self-esteem, your sense of security. The initial sting can make your emotions spiral, but here's the hidden gift. Rejection is one of life's greatest teachers in emotional mastery. It challenges you to confront feelings of disappointment, self-doubt, and frustration. offering a chance to grow stronger and more composed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You can't control being rejected, but you can control how you respond. Will you crumble under the weight of the no, or will you rise with grace and purpose? Think of athletes like Serena Williams. Every loss on the world stage is a public rejection of her efforts in that moment. But instead of letting it define her, she channels those emotions into relentless training and comes back stronger. Emotional mastery isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them, processing them, and using them as fuel for progress. Learning emotional mastery takes practice. The next time rejection knocks on your door, pause before reacting. Acknowledge the hurt without letting it consume you. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? This approach shifts rejection from a personal attack to a stepping stone for emotional strength. It's also essential to surround yourself with people who uplift you. Share your thoughts with someone you trust and remind yourself that rejection doesn't diminish your worth. It simply redirects your journey. Think about your own experiences. How have you handled rejection in the past? Did you let it define you, or did you find a way to rise above it? Let's share strategies and inspire one another. Drop a comment below with Master Your Emotions. Remember, the true measure of strength isn't avoiding rejection. It's how you manage it. Number 7, rejection sparks creativity. Rejection has a way of lighting a spark within us, a push to innovate, adapt, and uncover hidden potential. When one door slams shut, it forces you to seek new paths, often leading to extraordinary breakthroughs. Creativity thrives in the face of obstacles, and rejection can be the ultimate catalyst. Seneca captured this beautifully when he said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Just as friction refines a gem's brilliance, rejection sharpens our ingenuity. It challenges us to think differently and find solutions we might never have considered in smoother times. Consider the story of Netflix. In the early 2000s, they approached Blockbuster to propose a partnership, only to be laughed out of the room. That rejection didn't stop them. It inspired them to rethink the entertainment industry. Netflix shifted from DVD rentals to streaming services, creating a new norm and leaving Blockbuster in the dust. Rejection was the spark that led to an empire. On a personal level, think of the times you were told no. Maybe it was a project idea that got dismissed, pushing you to refine it or take a completely different approach. Those no's often force you to dig deeper, explore unconventional ideas, and discover strengths you didn't know you had. Rejection teaches us that there's rarely just one solution or one path forward. It encourages resilience and resourcefulness. Instead of seeing rejection as an endpoint, view it as a prompt. How else can I approach this? What haven't I tried yet? Embrace rejection as a part of your creative journey. Share your stories of how rejection inspired you to innovate and grow. Let's remind each other that creativity often rises from the ashes of failure. Drop your thoughts below with "Think outside the box" and inspire others to see rejection not as a defeat, but as a challenge to create something extraordinary. Number 8, it strengthens your boundaries. Rejection can be a painful but powerful teacher. Often it forces you to reassess your priorities and recognize what truly serves you. While the sting of rejection hurts, it frequently leads to one crucial realization: the need to protect your energy and establish healthy boundaries. Epictetus captured this perfectly when he said, He who is not a slave to others is truly free. Rejection teaches you to reclaim your autonomy. By experiencing rejection, you learn that not everyone or everything deserves your time, energy, or emotional investment. For example, imagine being turned down for a job you desperately wanted. At first, the rejection feels devastating, but later, you realize the work culture would have drained you. That no pushes you to seek a role that aligns better with your values and boundaries. Similarly, a toxic relationship ending might initially feel like loss, but over time, you see it as liberation, a chance to rebuild with self-respect intact. Learning to say no is one of life's most empowering skills, and rejection often provides the practice we need. It strengthens your resolve to avoid situations, people, or commitments that drain you. You start seeing rejection not as a judgment, but as redirection, away from what isn't meant for you and toward what honors your worth. Real-life examples abound. Oprah Winfrey has spoken about how early setbacks taught her to say no to roles or projects that didn't align with her vision, enabling her to focus on opportunities that did. Similarly, countless people find that rejection helps them draw a line in the sand, clarifying what they're willing to tolerate and what they're not. So, the next time rejection knocks on your door, ask yourself, what boundary is this teaching me to set? Use it as an opportunity to protect your peace and redefine your path. What's one boundary you've strengthened because of rejection? Let's inspire each other. Share your story below with "Respect your boundaries." Together, let's celebrate the courage it takes to choose self-respect over pleasing others. Number 9. Rejection fuels self-discovery. Rejection, while painful, can spark one of life's most transformative processes, self-discovery. When someone tells you not, it forces you to pause, reflect, and examine what truly matters to you. It's in these quiet moments of introspection that you begin to uncover your deeper desires, strengths, and potential. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "Dig within. Within is the wellspring of good." Rejection nudges you to dig deeper into yourself, encouraging you to evaluate your goals and passions. When the path you wanted gets blocked, you often find yourself asking, "Was this what I really wanted?" This question leads to clarity about who you are and what you value. Consider the countless stories of entrepreneurs who found their purpose after facing career setbacks. For instance, Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks, was rejected by over 200 investors when pitching his coffee shop vision. Instead of giving up, Schultz reflected on what drove him and used those insights to refine his strategy. His persistence and self-awareness ultimately built a global brand that changed how the world enjoys coffee. On a personal level, think about the relationships you've lost or the opportunities you didn't get. In hindsight, you might realize those rejections revealed aspects of yourself you hadn't noticed before. Your resilience, your capacity for growth, or even a passion for something entirely new. Each no becomes a stepping stone, leading you closer to the person you're meant to be. Rejection also helps you reassess your strengths. Did you fail because your skills weren't aligned with the task? Or was it simply not the right fit? Either way, the process of self-discovery begins, giving you a chance to adjust your course and become stronger. So, ask yourself, what has rejection taught me about myself? Use it as a tool to uncover your hidden potential and explore what truly fulfills you. How has rejection helped you discover something new about yourself? Share your journey with self-discovery in the comments. Let's celebrate the courage it takes to turn setbacks into breakthroughs. Number 10. It inspires empathy. Rejection is an experience that, although painful, can awaken a profound sense of empathy within us. When we face rejection, we come to understand the hurt and vulnerability that others feel in similar situations. This shared experience helps us connect with others on a deeper, more compassionate level. As Seneca wisely said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." When we face rejection, we realize that every person we encounter carries their own struggles, their own battles. This awareness allows us to approach others with more understanding, kindness, and patience. We begin to recognize that rejection isn't just a personal blow. It's part of the human experience, and it binds us together in ways we might not initially realize. Think of leaders and mentors who have faced rejection in their lives. Many of them, instead of becoming bitter or resentful, choose to lead with compassion because they know firsthand how difficult it can be to face setbacks. These leaders are often more approachable, more attuned to the needs of others, and better at offering encouragement. They've walked through the storm themselves and understand the resilience it takes to rise again. For instance, when J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection for her Harry Potter manuscript, she could have given up. Instead, she used her experience of rejection to build a story that has inspired millions of people worldwide. Her journey is a testament to the fact that empathy often springs from hardship. The more we experience rejection, the more we are able to connect with others in a genuine, human way. In your own life, how has rejection deepened your understanding of others? Have you found that facing your own struggles has allowed you to be more compassionate with people who are going through similar things? Rejection can turn us inward, but it can also open our hearts. Share your story with empathy through growth in the comments. Let's encourage each other to use our experiences of rejection to inspire kindness and compassion in others. Rejection hurts, but it also heals. It's a doorway to growth, resilience, and transformation. The next time you face rejection, remember that it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a stronger, wiser you. If you found these insights valuable, let me know in the comments which point resonated with you most. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more life-changing lessons. See you in the next one.